innovative content, global audience.
Hello, good morning, viewers. A very cold morning from you, from us uh, in London, the world's capital city. This is Wake Up Nigeria. My name is Princess Cassie, and of course, I have with me the one and only
Daddy Chris is here.
Yes, we'll be hooking up to Abuja really quick, and we know that we have a lot of issues coming in from Nigeria, and something terrible happened yesterday. In fact, I have not slept for I didn't sleep up to 2 hours because I was following that trend and I was chatting, I was talking to people that can I know I've been trying to follow comment from experts, from lawyers, from the organized labor, to weigh the gravity of what took place yesterday in Imo State. So we saw that the police are alleging that is a mob attack on the NLC president, national president, who was supposed to there was actually a planned protest yesterday in Imo State to shut down the state. They were talking about shutting down the airwaves, land, water, everything in the state because the governor is not cooperating with the workers. This they allege that they have a lot of arrears, pension, monies on workers unpaid, and even salaries being owed to workers. And this was the move yesterday, not until when the president, of course, arrived the states. We saw that he, according to men, people that were armed forces came and of course they took him away, and the only thing they could remember is that they had to brutalize him, and now he has been sent to the hospital for brain and head scanning and all that. So we saw a lot of if in fact I am in talks with the head of informations, Mr. Comrade Benson Upa, who actually told me, send me some of the pictures and gave me the full details as well. And it's quite sad that decrease, even though that's the major issue we'll be looking at today, where organized labor are now being brutalized. And of course, we saw that some of the journalists as well are arrested, even up to now they're still in custody. And all the lawyers I've followed so far, they've been condemning the acts. They have no reason. Is it that you go into a negotiation table with them, or you allow them to carry on their peaceful protest and leave? We know the labor that the only way they communicate is via protest. So we don't know why it led to that, where the national president has been brutalized to that extent. But anyway, these are some of the issues we will be discussing later. And of course, yours truly, Wike, and his dear son, Fubara, they are now singing different songs. Politicians, for me, they will always speak from both sides of the mouth. So I will not always trust them. Anyway, a very warm welcome to you. And we'll hook up now with Abuja. We have Joy and Mary standing by. Good morning, beautiful ladies.
Good morning to you from
How is Abuja today?
Good morning. Abuja is fine. And how are you doing over there?
We're fine, thank you. It's just very cold, but we are fine. Okay, so we move on with the papers this morning, and we will be taking them in this order. So if I take the Punch, Mary, you take Daily Trust. I will continue now. I will move on with the Punch newspaper. And these are some of the stories we have coming from the Punch. We have here, Court stop Fubara's remover. PDP governors consult Wike, and all the stories, of course, are on page 14. We also have here, nobody can intimidate me, impeachment, not a coup, FCT minister insists. Crisis will be resolved, says Fubara. PDP governors plan Port Harcourt meeting. All these stories are on page 14 of the Punch newspaper. As well, we'll have a story here that says reps probe 2 billion naira spent on a past postponed census. Reps probe 2 billion naira spent on postponed census, and that story is on page 8 of the Punch newspaper. We saw a very disturbing image here. As you can see, the picture story there. We've seen the infernal destruction and the people that are willing. The write-up says traders lament as fire destroyed 300 shops in Lagos markets, I think the fire issue is one of the issues I still need to go back to, especially talking about Lagos State. And then we have a story here that says my daughter's boyfriend blackmailed her to commit suicide in UK further. And then we have another story here that says tax-seeking government kill 40 in Yobe attacks. As well, we have a story here that says crude shortage delays Dangote refinery, five others take off. As well, we have a story here that says Tinubu seeks $7.8 billion, 100 million euro fresh loans. And that story is on page 21 of the Punch newspaper. Now, these are all the stories we have coming from the Punch this morning. There's quite a lot here, but I'm more concerned about the inferno here. We've seen the fire destroying a lot of 300 shops, and December is just around the corner. So I want to believe that a lot of these traders would have stocked their shops, and a lot of them as well would have spent so much money, trying to trade, do the December trade, the end of year season. And I was seeing that the shops are destroyed, 300, and nothing can be picked from here. This is a major disaster, and I really feel for these people. But we've seen so far, Mary, we know that this fire incident has been reoccurring, especially in Lagos markets.
Lagos.
What do you think we're not doing right? I think there was a time in Abuja we brought an official of the fire agency to speak on these issues, and he gave us some guideline as to what could be causing this fire disaster. And I was seeing a major disaster like this. What can be done?
In a place like Lagos. So I feel like every time we talk about government. So what about those people that use the market, that make use of the market? Because I feel like they should have called the presence of the fire service, at least come to their aid, because I think this fire destruction is too much.
No, as you can see, Mary, as you can see, apparently this actually started in the night. If you see the fire there, we can see that that is not something like it's daytime. So it's
Yeah.
actually in the night. And we see that apparently, market is a place where maybe the people guiding the market will not even know what to do. These are some of the issues we actually discussed the last time as well. What are we supposed to do?
Okay, but yeah, there's some kind of situation whereby you see they have this fire service close to the market. You
The
understand what I'm
market.
saying? Maybe like have an office close by, so that in case anything is happening and
Case
nobody's
of
around.
emergency.
You said?
I say case of emergency.
Yeah, they're supposed to have it. So if even if the federal government are not doing anything about it, those marketers, those people that owns a shop in that market, they have a particular amount of money they contribute, maybe monthly, to pay these people because it's for their own good. You know the kind of thing now that is being destroyed here. Imagine if there was presence of fire service to help them. You understand? It would have at least helped ease a lot of things, and things would have been better instead of things being destroyed this way. That is my own thoughts about this, though.
Joy, you're saying something.
No, I wanted to say the fire service should even be in the market.
Yes.
For me, an arm of
Understand.
fire service should be inside every market. The dry seasons are here, it's already here, and fire incidents will occur very often when we are in the dry season. So,
Especially in Lagos.
yes, so we really have to be careful as the dry season comes up, and then Christmas, they're running up and down shopping. They are going to be, like you said, their shops may be very stocked right now because a lot of people are doing Christmas shopping, and see what has happened. But there is need for fire service to be available in every market. If the government cannot do like Mary said, the marketers, they should contribute money. What their union, that should be very, very important. And then every shop owner should have a fire extinguisher if possible. Because the truth is, whether we like it or not, sometimes it's electrical fault. We don't know where the cause of most of these fires in the night happens. And then you live far, you can't come. But if someone close is there, they can remove the fire extinguisher and start using it. So that's my take on that.
I think you're both right. I know the last time we brought a fire official to the show, he did say that naturally there are supposed to be fire these offices in every major market. And of course, the blame also could be on the market. We have the market union. These are some of the places that because they collect money from the traders on daily basis. They go around the markets collecting money. So we can't leave it on the government. But this is really sad. Look at the amount of destruction here. And I don't think there's anything that can be picked from here. So where will these traders go to? And this might be caused by the negligence of just one person as well, especially when we talk about tailors leaving iron on, maybe there is no light, and then they close their shops and go home. And when the light is restored, these are some of the issues we can see. Or electrical issues, like you did say, could be a major disaster, like what the man said the last time. So it's really sad, and our heart is with these people. I don't know what to say, but this is really big. And 300 shops. I don't know where these 300 people are going, where they're going to start from. Anyway, there's a story here as well that actually caught my attention. Daddy Chris, I know that I really don't want to discuss about Fubara's issues this morning. We've taken so much of our time, and we know that we saw that reconciliation coming, because politics is politics.
I don't
Yes.
think the issue is actually resolved. Let's pray.
Yes, I think it's resolved, because I watched a video yesterday of Wiki, but I'm not going into that. So courts has stopped Fubara's removal, and PDP governor to consult Wiki. Do you see now that the president has done the major one, and now the PDPs are now going to Wiki, who is the mini god in PDP? What do you expect of that meeting? What do you see coming out of that meeting?
It's quite funny, that PDP, they sold their conscience. You understand? They sold their pride. It's like Esau. When you sell your birthright, these are things that happen. They are very proud. I think they were thanking the president for appointing one of them as minister, which is all right. Anyway, maybe that is two parties trying to work together, and now he has settled the case. But I don't think Wike being who he is. You understand? He's not the kind of person you really can deal with. I think if you want to deal with this guy, you might want to end the matter now, but Wike is not the type of person that knows how to forgive. I can tell you that. This battle will go on. Another thing will trigger, nothing will trigger. And if they have put up the case, anyway, they said the court has stopped it. It's not them withdrawing the case. Court stopped the in fact, stop. I don't understand the kind of power these governors have. Is it money we're talking about here?
I think it's connection. Who knows who? And we're looking at Wike now being so close to the president. And Wike could be that kind of there's this adage in my place where I come from. The rats that will want to eat in your leg and be blowing your leg, and you don't know that a rat is actually eating your leg. Like we said the other day, people meeting, and Wike is not there. We know that we have Wike loyalists among these governors as well, pretending to a lot of these governors said might be even envying Wike. Look at Wike today. Wike is the minister and all that, because they see the party that what we don't want to say PDP has failed, but I think they are close to that. Yes, because we are supposed to have a very strong opposition. This is not what we're seeing. You are proudly coming out to tell us the president has intervened. We are happy. We are excited. Is it that you cannot put your house in other PDP? That is what we're saying. Anyway, we'll see how that story unfold, because it's a developing story. But I am worried over a news I actually saw here this morning that says reps to probe 200 billion spent on postponed census. Now, I remember where there was supposed to be a census. Was it early this year, Mary and John?
Yes,
I don't remember.
around April. I think they later fixed the date around April.
Postpone the date. And now, if care is not taken, if that is not looked into, that money that have been released for that purpose, you will see somebody just quietly sitting on top of that money. Quietly. Or if apparently that money would have been shared, or taken away, and now later when they want to do it again, maybe another 2-3 years, they will tell you we need funds to do what, to carry on with the census. But it kudos to the reps anyway, because this is what they should be doing in that house. And that increase. The last story here before we move on, it's a crude shortage delay Dangote refinery. 5 others take off. Lack of supply to Dangote shameful, says federal government. Minister blasts low production. Who is to blame for this?
Good question. They should be asking themselves. They are busy exporting it, trying to raise immediate cash. So Dangote may now be the priority now, because Nigerian government want to make quick cash. And I think the price of oil is quite good now. So there's no time to look at the local market. And these are the questions, the time where we say, hey, we need to make things our own. Dangote have tried. I'm not his fan, because Dangote, I respect him, but when you see what happened with the cement, Dangote cement and all that drama, he's not really what we call corporate social responsibility. It's not a must. It's your money, but there's a place you get to
in a society, then you begin to give back to
and
society.
I always say to all the rich people in Nigeria, the Nigerian naira is not your own. It belongs to the Federal Republic of Nigeria, meaning it is our money. It's under your control at the moment, but as much as you're in control, we respect you, but please do the needful. You understand? Because without us, there will be no naira. And without naira, you will not be a millionaire.
Yes, that's true. Anyway, we move on quickly to the next newspaper, and that will be
the Daily Trust newspaper. Okay, this Daily Trust newspaper, not much headlines here, but okay, the big headline here says anger over planned 7 billion naira renovation of Tinubu Shetima residence. And here the rider here says First Lady's vehicle to go 1.5 billion naira. And here another story here says citizens, Labour Party, CSOS kick. Here another story says President seeks National Assembly's nod to borrow 5.8 billion naira dollar and 100 million euro. And you can find all these stories on page 4 of the Daily Trust newspaper. These are all the stories we have today on the Daily Trust newspaper.
Anger over planned 7 billion naira renovation of Tinubu Shetima's residence. Now, this is something I don't understand with our politicians. Anyway, they are entitled to that. But I've seen something, for instance. Now, I've lived in Abuja for quite some time. And, there was a time I went to National Assembly quarter. I used to have a friend there, so then I needed accommodation there. So I went there. We're just storing the place, going around to get me a new house. And I saw ministers' house, governors' houses, and I got some. And I saw one. The house was being pulled down. Beautiful house. They're going to bring down the structure. They're going to take the up again, redesign and all that. And then, if I can wait. And I said, who owns this house? It was the person is actually was that has at that time was a sitting senator. That I can bring money. And I said, but if the building belongs to a senator, why am I bringing money? That means he has the money to fix the place. So when the place is ready, I'll bring the money. And they say, no, now senator will not have time to go around all these ones just to pay, so that they lock it down, because the thing is that they just want to give away. So they're putting a fence, right, where tenants can go in and they have their own separately. But and I said, the house is beautiful. Why are you people demolishing the house? And no, the ex senator is gone. There is a new one, so we're doing new things. But my problem that increase is, do we have to start destroying? And that is the same thing we see with FCT ministers when they come on board. Apparently, Bello, the former minister, would have grown so much trying to build a particular thing, maybe a roundabout, a bridge, or something. And then you see a new minister coming and they tell you, no, not the structure is not supposed to be so. And they bring it down and they start all over. And the time is what we don't have when we talk about a hand. So, what have we done?
The resources. You don't talk about the resources. Is it that to tell you the ministers or the so-called sitting senators or house of reps, they are rich enough, to afford certain things, you understand? Because they've stolen from the past. I'm not sorry to use that word. You guys are rich enough. Why not, give up some of these things? And again, let's go back to president. This is the headline of the day. You understand? Are you saying that our president is not rich enough? Let me see this headline. Sorry about that. Let's see the Daily Trust. It's the only thing they have on the airline today, and I really is disheartening. Are you saying that our president is not rich enough, to actually say, okay, because of the situation of the country at the moment?
At the moment.
We're not saying it's your right. You keep saying it's your right. These are things you are entitlement. But we're going through a lot. Is it time for
I know there's no money in this country.
Exactly. Exactly. And it's time for renovation. It's time to buy
Why is
SUVs.
that when it comes to these people, there's always money?
And not just the president, so you guys, there's one right here that say first lady's vehicles to go 1.5 billion naira.
Now our sister will not go high. This is the game. You see, it's such a shame. We're not saying that it's not your right.
The same person that said during the campaign that her husband does not need the Nigerian money. He came to come.
That already have the money. They just want to come and
I love that. I can see how they're helping the country by driving us. I mean, I suffering.
God bless you, brother. In fact, you see, these guys you've been a senator for years, you've been governor for 8 years, you have it all.
You have it all.
You see, what do you need
this money they're using for themselves? Just
to work. Tinubu, you will make a name that nobody can ever make. But if you start rebuilding with our money, I thought Tinubu was going to say, I will stay here, I will maintain here. Nigeria need money. You understand? Sometimes, even Asu Rock, the place is beautiful enough. What do you need? How many beds are you going to sleep? How many women can you see take? Thank God it is not weak. Let's be sincere here. You understand? Baba, it's time to give back to society. Exactly what I said about Dangote just now. If we're talking of Dangote not giving enough back to society, and you not giving in, Baba can't even give enough back. The country, you see, when we see Nigeria now, we see you. Nigeria belongs to you now because you are Nigeria. It's your property. Nobody can love Nigeria more than you at this moment. Can't you see give a little to somebody you love? It's a shame. You understand? But we can't fight you. Shetima, we cannot fight both of you. Enjoy the money. The Nigerians are suffering. You understand? It's a time where people go to bed hungry. You understand? You see, what I'm even concerned about is these people can actually use a little bit of it to change life. That's why I said to Nigerians, it's not true that we don't have money. We have so much money. You can the amount of money the guys in the House of Rep want to use to buy and the so-called senator want to use for SUVs. It's enough to turn, to change only our agri sector. Only our agri sector, which is why people go to bed hungry.
It's quite sad and it's shameful that just renovations alone is going to go up to these amounts.
And the first lady,
7 billion. We're not even talking about 700 million. So
it's only when things like this comes up, you know that there's money in this country.
Renovation of the villa. So,
if you get that contract, baby, you're made. This is the way it works.
You're made.
You give me the contract. That's the problem.
Overmade. The question is, will this contract be given to anybody? Or these people
who will even give you the contract?
It's a
family thing. I'm quite angry that as we work today as a country as of today, we are spending a whopping 7 billion naira on renovation of
the president. Any other person can make it.
Already rich.
That is
already rich. Because that was the confidence I had.
In fact, this is where the former president stayed. It was beautiful enough. Baba, I want to, in fact, if I become president, I can beautify my bed the way I want it to be. Why would somebody go, what kind of bed are you going to sleep on?
No matter how much the bed is or anything they want to do, I think 7 million is much. And then the first lady, 7 billion rather. And then the first lady actually takes buying cars of 1.5. Anyway, what do you expect? Once they enter that office, they change. It's
maybe they are pulling down the building. Who knows? Maybe they want to pull down the building.
Pull down the building. Anyway, we move on quickly to the next newspaper we have, and that will be the Nigerian Tribune. These are some of the stories we have coming from the Tribune. There are quite a lot, so I'm just going to take a few of them. And the main headline here says that Wike opens up on Rivers crisis. Says nobody can take away our political structure. Impeachment is provided for in the Constitution. Fubara gets court note restraining House on impeachment. Says nothing wrong if father and son have issues. I said it. Politicians will always speak from both sides of their mouth. And all these stories on page 11 of the Nigerian Tribune newspaper. As well, we have a story here that says OAU students storm EFCC over arrest of 69 of their colleagues, and that story is on page 15 of the Nigerian Tribune newspaper. There's a story here as well that says lifting forest ban on restricted items will spell doom for poultry industry. This is coming from PAN, and that story is on page 28 of the Nigerian Tribune newspaper. As well, we have a story here that says arrest warrant. Court gives Emefiele January 25 to appear over $5.3 million debt, and that story is on page 20 of the Nigerian Tribune newspaper. There's a story here that says FG needs 18.4 trillion to fix federal roads. This is coming from Umai, the minister, and that story is on page 16 of the Nigerian Tribune newspaper. There's a story here that says, I must succeed by all means, says Tinubu. That story, one ministers at cabinet retreat, deliver or get sacked. That story is on page 10 of the Nigerian Tribune newspaper. There's a story here as well that says that reps issue 27-hour ultimatum to AGF to submit reports on 100 billion COVID-19 intervention funds. That story is on page 12 of the Nigerian Tribune newspaper. There's a big story here as well that says Labour talks tough over brutalization, arrest of LNC president in Imo. We wants Tinubu to call Uzodinma to order. Ajero was in protective custody, not arrest. Now, this is coming from the police, and that story is on page 10 of the Nigerian Tribune newspaper. This is all we can take from the Nigerian Tribune newspaper. I think in as much as we're going to be speaking on this issue later, you could see the picture there, how the man was actually brutalized. But we'll go to that story. And now moving, we saw a story where they are using 7 billion to actually renovate your house, Mr. President. And you were telling us here that I must succeed by all means, says Tinubu. Once minister at cabinet retreat, deliver or get sacked. So if you're saying you must succeed, apparently you have so much money, or Nigeria have so much money, and then we're talking about borrowing again. And look at this paper we've seen before, or maybe we'll come to that,
yes,
where they are borrowing so much already.
Yes.
So if we're borrowing so much, why are we spending so much to renovate? And you still, I always say politicians, they are not straightforward. You may not like me, but that is the truth. I cannot vouch for them, no matter who they are. You may be my brother, or I cannot vouch for you, because I think that there's something that actually engulfs them when they come into that office, and they change. Because we remember Remi Tinubu saying that they are not here to even collect any money from Nigeria. They are okay, they are rich. And look at your cars today, gulping 1.5 billion. Well done.
I got into some people, and they were like, "It's true. This man is rich. He has money. He does not need Nigeria's money, and all of that."
Yes.
Yes. And then I
the
think
question, the mistake you get people make is, how did he make the money? You understand? He made the money from us. And so that's the thing. Nigerians, look at Wike opening his mouth and to talk that he has so much power because he has made a lot of money from who? From us.
Yeah, does not want to remove his eyes from River State.
And see, this is the reality. What a shame. And we clap for them. You'll be surprised now people will be supporting Wike. Yes, Wike is this. On what ground?
Some people are supporting him already. Some people are supporting him already.
He got support, right?
that was
Yeah.
that he should be
He
a minister.
has more support than
They said
the
when we don't
governor.
know that they must have an agreement with the footballer and all of that, and
Yes.
the man is not supposed to go against the agreement. He's supposed to follow it and all of that. And I was like, wow, that's cool. So what if the agreement does not favor the people of River State? He should still go ahead to do whatever Wike says.
Wike was a very powerful governor. Even as he has left River State, he's still very powerful. So
But that
I
doesn't-
think he
that
has
doesn't
more-
mean he has rights over a sitting governor of the state.
I think he
He
has
should
more
face what
power.
he's doing in Abuja. Has which power? So we should still believe in this godfatherism of a thing. When you've left a particular office, you want to start controlling that place. So it means those people does not have right to do whatever they want to do. He's there in Abuja. He should face Abuja and fix what he's doing here in Abuja, and not to come and start deciding for people of River State. It makes no sense. When he was there, what was he doing? He was busy fixing all the Obiakpo road, all the Queen road. What about other places?
You hit on the real question. What did he do? as
Why did
a
he-
governor. You
you
know
know, he
what?
was actually favoring his
They were
also-
clapping for him. No, you
What
know what?
about
They
the
were
road
clapping for
around
him.
Okoro? You see the way he was fixing all the roads. What about all the riverine area? Nothing was done. Other
No,
places.
very.
that
Even
does
the
not
road
connect.
you're talking about is rubbish. Let me tell you this. Wike come to Abuja and he talked about Abuja master plan must be followed. Listen, no.
That's it.
Abuja master plan must be followed. But he was a governor for 8 years. What was his master plan?
He was actually trying to help only his people, a governor of a state. And you know that Rivers State has different tribes. Not everybody is from
I
the same tribe.
love that.
Yes, they have different tribes. They have
Different
the
tribes. There's
Igbo,
Andoni there.
Aris,
You see the Ogoni people. So what is he doing for the Ogoni people?
Ogoni,
He's doing
Andoni.
nothing there. There's Calabari. Those people, they are not the Ikore people. He was only helping the Ikore people. That is what me. I know.
I'm sure it's some people now supporting him because that's how it works.
They always come out to protest. All those Ikore women, they'll tie rapper coming out to protest for him. That's what they do because he was only helping them. Where Rivers State has different tribes there, different ones, so and he was not doing anything for them. And he's coming out to come and start deciding for people of Rivers State. No.
Where is his master plan? Come to Abuja and talk about master plan.
Wike is not a powerful governor. Wike is
But
powerful.
why is he right now?
If
He's
he's
wrong.
not
Why is he
powerful
right now? He's
enough,
wrong.
the PDP governors wouldn't have gone to visit him. He has a very strong. Okay, look at his fight with Atiku. How did it turn out? If he's not powerful, I'm not saying Wike has done the right thing, but I'm still trying to say that he is powerful, he is strong, and even his son that
you know what you call powerful? You know what you call powerful? He's the governor of a very powerful state that have a lot of allocation which he has swallowed.
You cannot be powerful by trying to
that's the basic thing. There's no power. There's no single reasonable power in this guy.
Is not
Look at what
power.
happened to Okowa. Okowa was the governor of Delta State with a lot of allocations. He has got it. He's now having become powerful. He wants to be president. Other than that, these guys are nothing.
I think I understand what joy means. Now,
PDP governors went to visit Wike.
when we talk about the PDP as a party, Wike as it were is one of the most powerful or strong PDP we know, and because of the issues it's having with PDP, I think that is why PDP really wants to weigh into this to an extent, so they don't eventually lose that, because they know that is a case of how do you say that parable. Now, when you have Fubara as your child and Wike as your child, but you know that Wike is the stubborn child, so you have to be careful too in dealing with it, so you don't lose them, both of them. Even though we know Wike is one leg in, one leg out already.
Thank you.
But I understand, Joy. Wike is one of, when we talk about PDP, before you will mention even 1, 2, 3, Wike will be there.
And I agree. The only thing I'm trying to say is that the only thing that makes him powerful is the money he has from the state. Otherwise, who was Wike? Look at his story.
He's pressing as well.
Pressing.
Like that gra thing he does, he gives it to you the way you want. And of course, he's not even hiding it. If you know, Wike.
The truth is, Wike is a shameless person.
Anyway, why are we even talking about Wike? Because if you see that news, we've seen here that Fubara says nothing wrong if father and son have issues. That is coming from Fubara. So kudos to them. But you want a father and son having issues, destroying the state house, destroying the youth coming out to protest is really a shame. It's a big shame.
This is not like you said, politicians have a way of making the thing look sweet. You understand? They don't want to tell us what is really going on. I can tell you that until you quote people, until Nigeria start to condemn the art of people like Wike, you understand? Listen, that's why we must look at the activities of the governors. You understand? Wike, you might be able to oppress him for the next few years. When that guy swallow enough, he's going to tell you, he's going to put you actually in prison. He can put you. That's the thing, the mistake Wike is doing. He may not want to implicate you now, but he can, because he knows you have a lot of dirty things right there. You cannot say, nobody can say you serve the government for 8 years. No matter how clean you are, you can be implicated for even small money. That's how the law works. So be careful when you deal with a sitting governor. And I think Wike is misbehaving. Seriously.
Yes, that is why people actually call him Tinubu, since it's as if Tinubu is the closest to him, not to call him to other. Yeah. And there's a story I've seen that the House of Rep is actually up and doing. We've been seeing so many summons, ultimatums for 72 hours to the AGF to submit report on 100 billion COVID-19 intervention fund. So COVID-19 has come and gone, but we've seen that the money is we're still talking about the money because these are some of the funds that they were supposed to disperse. We saw nothing. And now we've seen that a lot of issues are now arising. But I'm happy that the House of Rep is actually up and doing.
Yeah, let's see them. Let's see them do their work. We have people probing what happened even during the Boris Johnson era in the UK. So it's not out of place to look at that issue carefully. Again, this will deter. We want to do things that will stop people from committing crime. Unfortunately, you guys are not seeing that with Wike. Wike, as for me, is for what he has done, he's a criminal. You understand? He has stolen a lot of money. The money Wike claimed to have now is not his money. You understand? If you serve as a governor, how much were you paid? That makes you so powerful. Let us not glorify evil. You understand? When you call it powerful, no, call him a criminal there because the money, we know, is powerful because of the money. And the money is stolen. We may not be able to prove it, sir. I'm talking this on a national television, which is wrong. But, we know, if we say the truth, that the source of your wealth is coming from people's money. You understand? Be humble. You understand? Those who spam kernel were cracked for them by benevolent spirit must be humble. They are not. They turn out to be powerful, and Nigerians are celebrating, stealing, celebrating. Like Goodluck said, stealing is not corruption. You understand? You can steal, you're not corrupt. You understand? So let's just call it stealing.
So we move on quickly, and maybe we take that paper, the Guardian newspaper. These are some of the stories we have coming from the Guardian newspaper this morning.
And here the big headline here says, red flags on domestic borrowing as Tinubu considers 30 trillion naira fresh loans. And you can find that story on page 6 of the Guardian newspaper. And here another writer says, Emefiele prosecutes, don't enter into plea bargaining. That story is on page 12 of the Guardian newspaper. And here we have another story that says, court restrains Rivers Assembly, CG from impeaching governor. That story is on page 9 of the Guardian newspaper. And here we have another headline here that says, ministers says Rose will go up 18 trillion naira in 4 years, 6 contingency fund. That story is on page 9 of the Guardian newspaper. And here another writer says, endless bickering over no work, no payroll in varsities. That story is on page 4 of the Guardian newspaper. And here we have another story that says Tinubu vows to sack non-performing ministers, 6 approval to borrow 7.86 billion naira dollar and 100 million euro. You can find that story on page 3 of the Guardian newspaper. And here another writer says NLC president arrested, brutalized in Imo lands in hospital. That story is on page 6 of the Guardian newspaper. And here we have another headline that says, another governor bows to conscience, shuns ex-governors monthly pension. Let me take it again. Another governor bows to conscience, shuns ex-governors monthly pension. That story is on page 3 of the Guardian newspaper. I think that's all the story we have today on the Guardian newspaper this morning.
So we talk about president spending so much, and like I said, red flags on domestic borrowings as Tinubu considers 30 trillion cash loans. I don't understand the government. This is economy. We say we don't speak so much of economy. You say we don't have money. We need money. We need all hands must work.
Yes.
We must leave our high horses. And then you are from the Aso Rock alone. We're seeing how much going in there. And this is what your senators will say, or ministers, the president is doing, why would I do my own?
Of course.
And before you see how many senators do we have again, and the lawmakers?
So many,
And then
770.
and then we have ministers as well. So imagine everybody goes home, start renovating, start
They're
doing
just talking. What of the
buying-
stupid boards that they're doing nothing?
nothing.
Eh?
It's quite shameful.
But we have a lot of money. Nigeria is so rich.
So why are we borrowing?
But it make it look like we are so poor right now.
Yeah, I know.
Why are we
I know.
borrowing if we are
I know.
so rich?
If
Why
look at,
are
but
we
look at the
borrowing
amount of money we spend only on running a government. You understand? From the House of Rep to the Senate, 2 houses. Look at how much they got there. You understand? Then the presidency. Then that is at the federal level. You know what is so interesting? The same is applicable to the state. Imagine the amount of money Nigerians waste on this stupid administration that they cannot even make an impact on the lives of the people. You ask yourself, all these monies, supposing some of them are actually geared towards community building, you understand? You know, win economy of the people. I won't be even be angry if we spend some part of this money on production.
Why
Look
do I
at
even
how
feel
much
that
we spend
eh?
it, yes,
Why do I even feel that this money they're
on
calling eh? It's just
administration.
what they want us to see or hear. I feel it's even more than what they even spend.
Exactly.
These
But
people they cannot be trusted.
Princess, how many local government do we have in Nigeria? I'm still saying to the president today. I'm happy this sometimes they listen to us a little bit. I'm happy the president cannot say, okay, if we can just give 1 billion to each of the local government in Nigeria and say today we want to put an end to famine and hunger cannot be a thing of. Let us make it a thing of the past. Then once the federal government does that, the states do their own bit. You understand? And every local government in Nigeria must have one kind of farm or the other. God has blessed us with rich land. How can we? You see, all this money we are saying now, due to buy SUV and all that. Supposing we are even sitting, I don't mind if they do this, if they do that. But emphasis is never on that. It's only what they use to marry new wives. That's what I see there. It's a shame. And even the former a first lady who will respect that she has made a lot of money. Mama, you said you have enough.
And as a woman, as a mother, as a wife, we expect that she will even be giving advice that we
The oldest first lady we ever have.
yes. And at the end of the day, this is what we're seeing. Like I said, politicians will always speak on the both
Is
sides.
she a politician, really?
Yes, she has been in the
Senate.
not Senate, House of Rep for some time.
Is she House of Rep?
Yes.
I think she was a senator.
Really? No, I think
she's senator.
she was there for how many years? So she has been there for years. So she's a
Who's
politician.
going to touch her? Well,
You
Baba.
know, she had issues with Gino Milai, then very, very serious issues that took over the country. Then let's not go into that issue. And so we go to the last paper now. I think I have standing by Chikuma he is a trade unionist. Right now he's actually in Imo State where this whole issues, protest, brutality has been happening. But while he's trying to join in, let me take the last newspaper and we call the newspaper review segment a wrap. We move quickly to the Daily Times newspaper. Now, these are some of the stories making waves. As workers set to protest, gunshots, brutality in Imo as talks, police manhandle NLC president, hospitalized, right eyes shot. Uzadima's aide leads arrest of labor leader. TUC NLC report governor Tinubu vow to shut down states. We took him for protection, police. Outrage against governors, days to election. And another story here says all the stories are on page 4 of the Daily Times newspaper. Another story here says suffering indigenous contractors beg Wike for payments. That story is on page 9 of the Daily Times newspaper. Another story here says how rising input cost deep business performance in October. And that story is on page 4 of the Daily Times newspaper. These are all the stories we have coming from the Daily Times this morning. I didn't even know Wike is still owing indigenous contractors. Please, Wike, pay these people their money. Please see.
Powerful man. He's a powerful man.
No matter what
Is this funny?
it
Just in case people outside watching,
I want to
they
cover
can know who Wike is.
Yes, I'm quite shocked that he is.
being powerful doesn't mean he has been doing the right thing.
He's not powerful.
Okay.
That is true. Anyway, being powerful doesn't mean that he has been doing the right thing. So we are saying that he should please pay up the debt, because you can't say they call you Mr. Work or Mr. What's it called, projects, and then you are not paying these people. And there's a story here. I think that is what we'll go into. You can see the NLC leader there, the president Ajero, with the right eyes brutalized, the neck also he's wearing a neck. I don't know how you call that, but we can see that picture. I still have some picture that was sent to me by the head of Information Nigerian Labour Congress, and where he gave me the full account of what actually happened in Imo State yesterday. We're going to be joining Shukuma now, but just before that time, we'll go on a quick break. And now, when we return, we'll continue with the discussion as well. So, what happened, the current happenings in Imo State. Don't go anywhere. Stay with us. We'll be right back after that.
Are you a filmmaker in Abuja and its environ? Do you need a place for your music video, or you need a venue for your conference and even an editing suite for your post-production? Look no further. Our beautiful turret in Lokugoma has it all. We have a whole floor that consists of 3-angle lounge, a beautiful dining area, a large kitchen, a conference area that can comfortably accommodate 60 persons, and 5-bedroom adaptable for all kinds of shoots. The good news is all is available at affordable price. And you know what? If you are a member of the Association of Movie Producers of Nigeria, you have 20% discount. So what are you waiting for? Hurry and contact us on the numbers on your screen now. Hooray! The next President Show is here again. Are you aged between 18 and 30, smart, bold, and possess exceptional leadership skills? Do you have what it takes to be the next youth governor and future youth president? Then register free now at superiorradioandtelevision.com or call the number on the screen. The next President reality TV show, moving politics out of the polite drawing room into the clamor of the streets. Hooray! The next President Show is here again.
Everyone, my name is Hajara Osman Muhammad. I'm the Youth Governor for Kano State, Nigeria's Center of Commerce.
Pronounced Joel Garba, the Youth Executive Governor of Kaduna State, and I am contesting for the Youth President of Nigeria under the People's Liberation Party, PLP.
Between 18 and 30, smart, bold, and possess exceptional leadership skills. Do you have what it takes to be the next youth governor and future youth president? Then register free now at superiorradioandtelevision.com or call the number on the screen. The next President reality TV show, moving politics out of the polite drawing room into the clamor of the streets.
Hello viewers, you're welcome back from that quick break. Like I did promise, we're going to be joined by Chikuma Ize. He is a trade unionist, a political special reporter, and of course, he's an analyst as well. But before then, Daddy Chris, what do you make of this whole, we have an election coming in that state. This is the NLC president right here. And then we saw that brutality yesterday. Just because they were planning a major shutdown of the state, this they alleged to arrears and pension monies here and there.
This man is guilty. Baba, you are guilty. You're going to be held accountable. I like what Kenneth say, and thank God Kenneth is back with us. Yeah, Kenneth is really back with us. He said, you see all these things happening in this area, all these states, the governors are benefiting. When you see crisis, and another thing that is happening is, I said this thing here. Somebody said to me in the mining that if you see where there's high level of insecurity, especially in the northern part, there is illegal mining going on. So in the south, in the Southeast and the Southeast in particular, you see the governors benefiting. This guy have an election to run. He has an election to win. You understand? And he cannot claim innocence. In fact, he has to be, he must dig out those who are responsible for this. You know, and we're happy to, if Kenneth, we want to weigh in quickly on this. Kenneth, you're welcome to the show. You know,
thank you, good morning, Daddy Chris. You see, you know, Moses, I always have a different perspective, and so you guys have to accommodate my perspective in the Imo State.
For once.
See, my question is, the Labour Union Congress, are they protesting for workers in Imo State, or are they campaigning for the Labour Party in Imo State? They need to draw a line between the activities.
All right.
Are they protesting because workers have been owed, and they are protesting just some weeks to an election when the Labour Party has a candidate that is already making waves in Imo State? Now, there have been cases of insecurity, cases of people dying in Imo State. The Labour Congress did not protest, even when doctors were kidnapped in Imo State. Their members died, lost, most of them disappeared. We can't even find them anywhere in Imo State as it is now. They don't protest for those things. They are protesting for pensions. The government is not even owing them salary. They are not protesting for pensions all from the Hakim regime. I'm not supporting the government. What I'm asking is, the Labour Congress in Imo State should define their position. Are they campaigning for the Labour Party? Because whatever is being done to Ajare right now is because the government is seeing it like they are campaigning for the Labour Party. You're asking for a total shutdown of all the Labour force in Imo State. You're not even talking about the fact that we have inadequate doctors, not enough doctors in the hospitals. You're asking the whole Labour to shut down in Imo State. What are you trying to do? Are you trying to set Imo State into a state of total turmoil? Ajere is not from Imo State. In his state, he's governing his own salaries. He has not gone to shut down his states and, of course, help them rescue the people in his state who are being owed salaries and pensions and arrears. He himself is also a civil servant. He's also owed salaries in one department or the other. There are some entitlements he's being owed. He's not shutting it down. In fact, he has not led Labour to shut down Nigeria and ask where is the palliative that the federal government said they are going to release. And all of a sudden, you are taking all the Labour structure to go to Imo State and shut Imo State down. Well, thank God the police gave a different, of course, they always have a way to cover up whatever is happening. They said they went to rescue him, not to arrest him. So maybe he needs to tell us who they are rescuing him for, probably from his fellow Labour members. I'm not supporting Hope Uzodinma. Of course, I've been one of the vocal critics, though he's a party man to me, but I've been one of his vocal critics over the years. But the Labour Congress in Imo State, I still say it again, should tell us, are they campaigning or are they protesting?
Anyway, whatever it is, your opinion on this, you have your opinion, but we are talking about somebody that was brutalized. I think as a labor, organized labor, they have a right as well to protest. And we know that the Imo State and labor issue has been there. If you have been following trend, you will know that even right from the time of Ayuba Waba, that is one state that has always had issues with the labor of unpaid arrears and wages. And so I don't think it's premeditated or it's something that is targeted at the elections anyway. That is my opinion. I will look that.
I'm not going to cut you off, please. I'm from Imo State originally. Just 20 minutes drive from Owerri, you are in Abia State. Abia State governor is owing civil servants 36 months salary arrears. I'm not talking of pensions. Why is it that when it comes to the Southeast, I'm from Imo State, and this one saying this now. Why is that if it comes to the Southeast, it's only in Imo State that we always have the Labour Congress so active. If you go to Abia State, they don't even talk there. Go to Anambra, they don't talk there. Anyway, Anambra has been doing well of recent, right from Obi's time to now. Go to Ebonyi State, they don't even exist there. If you go to Enugu State, I don't even think there's a Labour Party union there. It's only in Imo State that they always come. I support them, and I'm against the brutality of Ayuba. What I'm saying is this: why is it that they always select the state in the south is where they speak up, and now he's coming to Imo State to do this? He should have been doing this all this while, but it's just some few weeks to an election. He's here, so of course people are.
Kenneth, you have a big point there. To be sincere, and maybe this guy will answer that question. You understand? Because we'll be joining with a trade union.
The trade union is okay. One of is on ground as we speak now.
Okay, good.
He is Comrade Chukuma Inze, and I'm going to put a call through to him right away. He's not going to. We can bring him on video because of the network where he is. He's among the people that actually went there, talking about the protest that is supposed to, the major protest as of that yesterday planned protest. But we saw what happened.
Yes.
Good morning, sir.
Okay. White Princess is sorting that. Yeah, so we have two sides of the story here, you right? I was supporting, honestly. I felt this guy is guilty.
Good morning, sir. Can you hear us?
Okay. We need to say that we can't hear him out yet. Only Princess can hear him at the moment. He will be joining us. Two things are at stake here. Yeah, good. Two things are at stake here. There is a sitting governor want to win the election who is now fighting back because he felt the trade union, the labor people are here to attack him on his weaknesses. And Kenneth, you said something. The good question is, was this a recent thing or things that have been old? We want to follow this carefully. You understand? Let us know so we don't lay blames. And yeah, I'm happy somebody's joining us shortly. Unfortunately,
Comrade,
it's my cable that is causing all this problem and the phone. It has been misused.
Comrade, can you hear us now?
Yeah, I'm hearing you. I want to confirm if you're hearing me from your end.
I can, Comrade. Good morning.
Good morning. Yes.
Okay.
How are you, sir?
Very fine. We thank God. We survived the attack from the talks from the Imo State government.
Can you please tell us not just encompass everything in a sentence and tell us what actually happened there yesterday as regarding the state government talks and the organized labor. Talking about the president, we saw the pictures. He has been brutalized and he is still in the hospital. What exactly is happening in the state right now?
It's unfortunate that we are in a state where the rights of workers are being suppressed, and the organized labor, just to fulfill their fundamental right of protest, to disagree with that aspect of governance in the state. And the call was made for workers to assemble at 8 a.m. the previous day. We received our leaders ceremoniously and everything went well. Not for us to gather yesterday, and already before the gathering, talks were already located at on a white hillocks, already strategically located behind the NLC secretariat in Owerri. So we didn't know they were waiting for their accomplices to join them, not for us to see about 5 minibuses driving and all the passengers alighted with clubs, bottles, machetes, and started attacking workers, collect their phones, search them, collect all valuables in their possession, and chase them out of the NLC secretariat. That was the plight of our intended protest yesterday. And as leader of workers, when the president of Congress heard about what was going on, he came to identify with the workers, and upon arrival with his team, the thugs were there, also tried to molest him, but he got into the secretariat until a team of police vehicles, which we all thought were coming to maintain peace, arrived. Immediately they saw the police team arrive, it emboldened them. They now unleashed terror on the secretariat. They destroyed vehicles. They attacked our comrade president. They attacked his driver. Everybody that was in that scene, they beat them black and blue. And the police now took him away and claimed that they were taking him to safety while these things happened in their presence. It's unfortunate where the state has been degenerated to, and we think Nigerians and Imo State citizens deserve a better deal.
Now, Chukuma, we know that you left Abuja as well to attend that protest or to partake in that protest. We know that elections are upcoming as well in that state. Now, many are of the opinion that that protest is targeted at the sitting governor, as the labor move, organized labor, is that's a way of standing or making campaigns for the Labour Party there, rather than a true protest. Because we have other states as well, like my colleague just said, that the governors are owing arrears and wages as well. So why is it that is only Imo State was seeing this, and why at this time? Is this old arrears or new ones?
And so that's, in other words, could you tell us what the protest was really all about?
Okay, there are some workers who were targeted, ghost workers, workers who were credibly employed. Government, we understand and know, which is a fact, that government is continuum. So you cannot come up and choose the people you pay. Those workers who were tagged ghost workers, upon this removal of subsidy, the conditions of living became very hard for them, and they were crying to the NLC. And the NLC has planned this protest just to draw the attention of the government to an agreement he has signed earlier. To fulfill your part, there is an agreement.
Yes, okay. The question is...
Fulfill your part of the agreement.
Yes, Chukuma, the question is, why at this particular time? This is barely 2 weeks to the election. Right? Why did you decide to do this at this difficult time?
No, you see, you are tagging it the time close to the election. We are tagging it a time when our people are crying of the hunger and starvation that has been imposed on them by the governor. The NLC does not have any candidate it is supporting, not even the Labour Party candidate. NLC supports candidates that are credible, even if we have a stake in the Labour Party. The Labour Party is an independent entity of its own. They choose their candidates, and those who buy into our Labour ideology, we support. We are not supporting any candidate in the Imo State election as it is today. We are not supporting Hope Uzodimma. We are not supporting the APC. We are not supporting the PDP nor the Labour Party. If you know very well, we have a candidate who is an APC governor. We have a governor in every state who is a trade unionist, who was the former deputy president of Congress. So we support candidates across parties. In fact, we are also going to protest on soonest against the Labour Party governor, who is in Imo State, also trying to bring in some of these ideologies that does not align with the trade union ideology. So it is not about being partisan. The Nigerian Labour Congress is not partisan. Our interest is to protest the interest of workers and ensure that workers are paid their wage as and when due. These are the ideologies that have driven this protest. Okay. As far as I'm concerned, the timing is not an issue. The most important issue is that people who are supposed to benefit from the salaries of their wages are not benefiting, and the subsidy removal has further impoverished them, and they are crying out. Your child cannot be crying and you allow him not to eat and sleep. That is what we are talking about. These are the salient issues.
Yeah, thank you very much. And I think I agree with you. I'm gonna allow somebody else to weigh in, because if this Labour is doing this, it's something we want to see across board. My concern is why Imo State at this time, why do we have similar issues in other states? We will not to see more activities of what you're doing. But the question is, you have to start at a point in time. And actually, it's a good time to actually embarrass the governor anyway. If he's sitting there coming out for a re-election, when he has arrears to pay and he's ignoring it, is somebody we need to embarrass. So that is even not an excuse. But I know Kenneth may have one or two questions. Kenneth, do you have any question for our man?
Yeah, Mr. Chukwuma, thank you very, very much for the way you laid facts to the questions that are Chris asked. I want to ask you just two questions. Is the Imo State governor owing any salary to any credible Imo State worker that has gone through the biometric verification that he asked them to do? Is he owing any salary, even 1 month?
Okay. So the question is, can you be, yeah, go on. Is that it, Kenneth?
Yeah, I was asking.
Yes.
No, I didn't get that.
Okay, so I asked you, is Hope Uzodinma, the Imo State governor, owing any salary to Imo State workers whom he had verified to be on his payroll? Before we even come to the issue of the ghost workers, is he owing the people on his payroll salary?
No. The truth is, it is not about who he verifies. That is why.
No, sir. I just asked you a question, sir. I asked the question. If you tell me yes or if you tell me no.
Yes.
Sir, the question demands yes or no. Don't explain.
And when you come in, you consolidate. The duty of a governor is to consolidate on the successes his predecessors has laid the foundation.
But Shukuma, I wouldn't pay ghost workers because if this is consolidated, that is something. If I come in as a governor and I can see some ghost workers, it's my job to stop paying them. So I won't be paying ghost workers. So that is why Kenneth is asking.
No, that's why.
Yes.
Listen, sir, with all due respect.
Yes.
The trade union is made up of human beings.
Yes.
We don't stand for. In fact, we advocate for the removal of ghost workers so that those who are working can get an appropriate pay.
So,
it is ghost workers that are those in government.
Yes.
They are the people who produce ghost workers to load the payments and they take back what is left.
So that
we are standing for
Shukuma, yes,
our members.
Shukuma. So that brings the question. Sorry. So that brings the question in. The question is now asked: can you verify that the governor, the sitting governor, is owing those he verified to be workers in the state? Because that is the question here now. I think that's where we are.
No. It's not about who is getting his due.
Okay, sir. Sorry, can I ask him another question? A quick question,
Yes.
We have people who have been paid their salary. We have not gone there to make agitation. We are agitating because there are people who are supposed to be earning. When Jesus Christ came, he said he did not come for people who have seen themselves to be self-righteous. He came for those who are unrighteous, to make them righteous.
Shukuma, so in essence, Shukuma, hold on. So in essence, the governor is not owing salary. We're talking about pension as well and salary. What exactly is the wages being owned by the government that is now, we're not saying there should be a protest?
No, even at that, I cannot even, I don't have the information to say whether he's owing or not. But what we are saying, get us clear.
Yes.
It is very important we get it clear.
Understand.
The issue is not about whether he's owing them backlog of arrears or not.
So what exactly
he might be owing or not, but
yes.
I cannot confirm that.
Okay.
What I can confirm to you is that there are workers who have been tagged ghost workers, and for many months they don't receive what they should receive.
Okay, so in other words, they are not ghost workers. Point. So the workers, maybe the governor. Are you saying? Wait. Are you saying the governor is or the government is has intentionally victimized some people, calling them ghost workers and refuse to pay them?
Oh yes, sir. I'm going to ask.
Okay, that's that.
I'm going to ask Mr. Chukwuma one more question,
Okay,
so that Nigerians watching this broadcast can understand what is happening in Imo State. Mr. Chukwuma, at the declaration of the Labour Party candidates in Imo State, was the Labour Party chairman or union leader, was he at that declaration of his gubernatorial intention?
Kenneth, there is a good alignment between LSC and the Labour Party. So that is why I'm asking this question. I hear what you're saying. So technically, there is a political undertone to all this. You understand? There's a political undertone because now the governor is angry. The governor is getting mad because he thinks. You can even see, sir, that in case I'm not cutting you off, I just want to relay point to this before we forget it. You can even see that Mr. Chukwuma left Abuja to go to Imo State and protest without even knowing if they are owing workers in Imo State. Now, you see the kind of people have in the trade union. He left Abuja, traveled to Imo State to go and protest for Imo State workers without knowing who is being owed, how much is being owed, what is being owed, and why is being owed. I have one last question, which and then I'll be quiet. Now, how could you as a actually, Kenneth, I'm putting this clearly to him. How could you, as a body, go on a protest if you cannot verify
what is happening,
who and what is being owed? Because this is the issue. You understand? If you, I expect that the body will have this source record.
You see, that is why we talk about facts. What is verified is the fact that there are workers who have been tagged ghost workers. And if you are sitting there where you are working today, we are all workers.
Yes.
If at the end of the month they tell you, no, we don't see what you're doing, you are not going to be paid.
Or maybe, Chukwuma, don't you think it's because they refuse to do their biometrics or they refuse to capture as workers, and that is why the governor did not pay these wages? Can you hear me, Chukwuma? Okay, I think we'll have.
He will join us.
Yes,
I think this is a very interesting thing. I come into this very biased, to be fair, on this governor. But if it is true that there's
yesterday,
yes.
No, listen.
Go ahead.
Where with you?
As at yesterday, the documentation of some of them were brought out to show that these people are credible workers.
Good.
And to show that they are humans, they are not ghosts.
Yes.
Ghost workers are people who are not in existence.
Made by the politicians themselves. Yes. The politicians are the one behind it anyway.
Exactly.
But sir, Kenneth did made a point here.
The trade union does not collect any money from government.
Yes.
So we cannot be agitating so that the money of these alleged ghost workers will come to us.
I agree.
Mr. Chukwuma, I'm going to ask you another thing now.
I agree. Kenneth, what he's saying. Yes, what the guy is saying is very correct. That is the only thing the labor is saying here is that some people have been tagged ghost workers, where they are not.
No problem, sir. But I'm going to ask you one more question, sir. Now, Mr. Chukwuma, there is what we call an industrial court in Nigeria. Can you tell me the suit number that the trade union has used in filing a case against the Imo State government on the case of the supposed ghost workers? Had you guys ever approached this legally before you decided to flood Imo State without unverified facts to protest, sir?
Protest is something you can do without actually going to court.
It's a constitutional right.
You can do that.
Right, sir. What I'm asking is,
without going to court.
Is this matter in court? Because even the governor, the court can compel him to do the needful.
No.
Not on the side of the governor. But I'm asking, is the matter in court?
Kenneth, if the matter is in court, would they need to protest?
So why are they not in court?
No, Kenneth, the point is if they are a body fighting, they're like a pressure group fighting in the interest of workers. It's left for the government to go to court or for them to go to court. But the most important thing is that somebody is agreed, he decided to protest. If the matter goes here, somebody can take the matter to court.
I am totally on your side, but hear me. I work for Superior Radio and Television.
Yes.
And then one morning I wake up and I'm disengaged and I feel it's not fair. And I don't even approach the court to say, hey, look at my contract, oh, it's not being followed up. Nothing is happening. And then
No.
The labor can help you.
The labor, the activists, their job is to first of all try and help you. I think when everything fails before
I think the best way of helping should have been to help them move this matter to the industrial court.
No.
Yeah.
No, Kenneth.
They could have done that, but they didn't do that now. It doesn't make anything wrong. Because sometimes these are issues that you need to. Kenneth, was everything held in the court?
Daddy Chris,
talking from a lawyer's perspective.
I understand.
There was an agreement.
We have been saying that.
Joy, hold on.
Wait, let's hear from him.
So why don't you honor your own part of the agreement?
Yes.
There was an agreement.
To God, and the court will say, the parties will say, we want to settle out of court, and they will come and file their agreements that they settled out of court in the court. It will become the court judgment. So by this, there is an agreement. We are saying, state government, you're not fulfilling your own part of this agreement. If we have an agreement, it's an agreement that is endorsed on pen and paper, it is the onus is on the both parties to fulfill their own obligation in the agreement. Yes. And so, if you fulfill your part of the agreement, nobody will be aggrieved. What we are saying that is there is an agreement, and the state government is not fulfilling its part of the agreement.
What is this agreement, sir? What is this agreement exactly by the state government and the organized labor?
Thank you, Princess. Thank you.
It would have solved all problems. It is a roadmap. The agreement is a roadmap towards solving all these problems. And the state government has endorsed to say, okay, we will fulfill it. Why did they endorse an agreement that they could not fulfill? There is an agreement.
We are talking about ghost worker, and this agreement, is it something that has to
do? No, but the government is saying there are two sides of the story. The labor is saying that these people are not ghost workers. Government is saying they are ghost workers. That's where we are now. But the bottom line is the governor, if whether ghost worker or not, have no right to unleash terror on people. You understand? Look at it. Hey, this is barbaric. All right. Whatever the case, there's no justification for this.
And Chikuma, so as of today, what's happening, and are you still going on with the protest, or because of the brutalization carried out on the president, we are going to postpone the protest, or you're still going on? What's the situation right now?
For now, we are waiting for leadership direction to proceed on the way forward. Our leadership will meet, and this is not a one-man decision. I will continue to reiterate this. It's not a one-man decision. The Congress, the organized labor, both the trade NLC and the TUC, they will go back to their organs, assess the relationship between the Imo State government and the organized labor, and they will come out with a position. And I assure you that there is no state government that is greater than the workers who create the wealth of the state.
But just before we let you go, Chikuma, were you at that place where the thugs actually invaded the workers? Were you right there?
I had injuries in my hand. I will share the pictures with you.
Okay.
I had to, because I also enjoy the privilege of being a journalist. I ran into the NUJ, but at a point in time, the thugs were trying to vandalize the NUJ gate, say they should bring us out. We had to scale the fence from the backside where our comrades from NUJ said we should scale the fence. And we walked in a bush that is very low, a thorny bush for a length of hours, just because the thugs had they filled the street and they were unleashing terror. And they were looking for anybody who had an identification with the trade union to harm them and maim them. So we had to run for our life. I will share pictures of my injuries with you on WhatsApp immediately after this call.
Thank you very much. Finally,
can you even estimate your numbers? Don't say thugs and workers.
Finally, sir, how is it?
I was treated at the Federal Medical Center yesterday with where we took our comrade president to yesterday. I will snap the card and all the documentations we did at the Federal Medical Center to you, and the injury I sustained.
That
was my question. How is he now?
How is the president,
What is his state now?
Suppress the people,
comrade,
especially workers.
Yes, comrade.
How is the president today? What's the state of his health as of this morning?
He's recuperating. We thank God for the medical intervention of the medical officers at the Federal Medical Center, and they did very well. And the president is recuperating. And when he gets better, we will hear from the leadership of Congress.
Well, thank you so much for being on the show this morning. We appreciate your time. And please take care of yourself while you
Thank you for having me.
Stay safe.
We thank God for everything, for keeping us safe.
That is true. Thank God for your lives. Viewers who've been on the show with Comrade Chukuma Inza. He is a trade unionist and a senior special correspondent. Thank you so much, Comrade. We appreciate your time.
Wow. There's a little bit of an issue here, Kenneth. Why we condemn, if Labour did do whatever they do, maybe I can't even see where I fought Labour completely here. One, they decided to embarrass the government at a time where they think it will harm the governor most. I'm not going to be against that. However, if there are issue of ghost workers, what can we tell to the governor? But in any case, this act of terror, it's not the governor going to get to court, because he cannot excuse himself from this. He cannot say, because from what all he's saying, the governor cannot say, I am not aware. You know, you fight back, governor. Thank you for fighting. But you know what? You'll be avoiding the court. You're going to see the court now. And I think these are the kind of things Nigeria should not support.
And I'm worried as well, the police saying that they actually took him into protective custody.
But again,
but he said, yes, but he said, Ajero said that he was beaten up and blindfolded. That is after they took him away from the Congress secretariat. This is the message from him.
But this question is, when did the police intervene? Maybe the police were able to take him from the mob. Who knows? Because it would be irresponsible.
I'm reading exactly what he narrated to you.
Okay.
And this is coming from, I chatted with the head of information, Nigerian Labour Congress, Comrade Benson Upa. And this is his message
here. This is the account of the president himself.
Yes.
Can you read that to us?
Yes, he said, from abduction to attempted murder. That is after narrating, or should I go to the beginning?
No, just a little bit. Give us the I think that's the most important thing, where you were giving us. Yes. How they took him, who took him, understand? And then the blindfolding is quite funny, because that's what they would do, because they wouldn't want to know their police doing it. If that's the case. Like I said, the government needs to have serious explaining to do. Go.
And they said security personnel in Imo State beats up journalists at NLC secretariat, arrested some cameramen, and they are still in custody. And they were,
yes. That's an interesting headline. Okay, that's coming from the Labour side.
Yes, and you know, even Chukuma said they had to run into the NUJ.
Yeah, which is going to be true. We know this truth now, because the governor might say, "Oh, they are mobs." All right, but hey, where did the mob come from, sir? You understand?
And then they went further to say contact was made with Congress President Comrade Joe Ajero this evening around 15:30 hours at the police hospital in Owerri, from where he was taken to Federal Medical Center, where he's receiving treatment.
At least they did the right thing.
Yes, thoroughly brutalized his right eyes. Okay, I'm going to Ajero, who stated little because of his health condition, said immediately after his arrest, he was beaten up and blindfolded and taken to an unknown destination where more brutalization took place. Some with bottles as well, beating him. His phones, money, and others personal effects were taken off him and have not been returned up till now. President Ajero has been referred to head and brain scan. Okay, that is another part. But that is what he said. Meanwhile, there's a very long script here, which we can read now.
Yes.
But what I spoke with the head of information. He was supposed to be here this morning, but I guess because of the whole back and forth with what's currently happening, I couldn't get him on the show. But he told me that he spoke with the president, and these are some of the issues on ground, that he was arrested by the police. That was what he said to me. He was arrested, and after that, there was a blindfold scenario. They were beating and brutalization. But anyway, like Kenneth said, who knows? At the end of the day, is a developing story. We're still going to get to the bottom of this. I'm still going to engage Comrade Benson Upa, which is the head of information, the Nigerian Labour Congress. And of course, I'm still going to talk to some of the trade unionists to know what's actually happening and how we got to this point where even though the NSC decide, or the organized labor decide to go on a protest, we now see where mobs are coming out, but we know Owerri for that anyway, or Imo State. I don't mean to offend you, but we've been seeing this quite often, issues here and there of brutalization here and there. So,
for instance, there's a story here. It's clear, all right. From what is it? We don't need a rocket scientist to tell us what's going on here. The governor is offended because Labour coming at the time to attack him because he has the election to win. All right. He reacted by pouncing terror on the president. Understand? The question, who is right or wrong? There's a case of assault here.
Picture as they were running, wonderful. He felt that. Wonderful. These are some of the bruises.
So, yeah. Yes. So there's terror. There is terror here. In fact, there's an assault here, and the governor cannot give us excuse why that is not involved. Now, when it comes to the case of ghost worker, that becomes an excuse. I know Kenneth will want to defend the governor, but this time, no matter how, I don't support Labour that much because they still say they are the lesser devil. You understand? Whether you call them ghost worker or not, the Labour is saying that these people are genuine workers. So that is an issue from
I don't know, but I know that right from the time of even Rocha Sokrocha, we've been seeing this back and forth with the organized labor
in that state.
Yes, and this has been often, more consistent than every other state. That is what I don't get. We've seen them go there, shutting down the state for days. Then they will say pension, arrears, issues of wages. And so I think there's something going on in the state. I really need to do my own.
Can I tell us a little bit more about it? What is going on? What do you think is going on here?
Well, you see, I think what has happened now has thrown more light on the happenings in my dear state, Imo State. The insecurity in Imo State is at a level where most people don't even think about it. We have a state where, criminal elements operate in the view of the police, and when they are done, the police will just cover up for them.
They were running in the bushes.
I am not going to defend Hope Uzodinma on this, sincerely. But what I'm saying is, why is Labour always selecting to intervene only in Imo State? I still have it on record. Hope Uzodinma is not owing any worker in Imo State. The ones he said he's going to pay, of course. Now, the people in this ghost worker scenario, I have a little idea of it. These are workers that were padded by the Rocha Sokrocha administration before he left. For instance, why this thing always happens in Imo State is, if you check very well, Imo State has been one of the most consistent states in changing leadership when it comes to party. We had a sitting on Hakim, a governor sitting, that lost after his first tenure. Then, of course, Rocha Sokrocha won with PPA, not the prominent party, just Imo usually goes to opposition party because Imolites are so good at defending their votes. I think Abia State just woke up some few months back, but Imo State has always been good at defending their votes. And I understand the reason why Hope Uzodinma is fighting tooth and nail, because if you give Imolites a chance, Hope Uzodinma is going to lose this election. If you allow Imolites to vote very well, they will lose the election. But my question is this: the brutality has happened. What is the commissioner of police? I like following institutions because these are the ones that have the constitutional right to intervene. What is the commissioner of police going to say about this? Is he going to say that his labor members are attack themselves? Because it is clearly a case of thugs invading there to attack them. But legally, of course, we'll say without evidence, it will be explained tire. There is no way you can link this to the governor, because it's an election period, and that is my concern about the whole thing. It's an election period. The trade union, they know the precarious security situation of Imo State. Why protest now? These people that you're calling ghost workers had been disengaged 2 years ago by Hope Uzodinma. Why protest 2 weeks to an election? Of course, the Christians always say they should go and embarrass the government. But
I beg to correct that, Kenneth. I know there were months back where they went to that state as well, not just 2 years ago. I can categorically tell you that organized labor has been to Imo State this year like 3 or 4 times on this issue, though I don't know the in-depth.
And that is what I'm saying. The workers were disengaged 2 years ago because Hope did a certain verification, whatever, and then he said those that were employed probably 2-3 months before his government, that he's not going to put them in the payroll. The same thing is happening in Abia State. I want you to understand where I'm coming from. I'm not in support of Hope Uzodinma for any reason. I'm APC, but when it comes to Hope Uzodinma, I don't back him up because this is my state.
I thought you said none of them is questionable. Why are you not backing
It's
your
not
guy?
questionable. It's not questionable because, of course, nothing has been proven against him. But I just don't like his personality. I don't like his personality. He has a very, very rigid way of governance.
Don't behave like these politicians who come from both sides of the matter.
Kenneth is, I think I give Kenneth some credit here. Last time, Kenneth, I'm going to take this to you now, taking you back. That when there is, for the insecurity in Imo State, the governor is benefiting. Do you agree?
Yeah.
So, and now you said he cannot be here, that you cannot blame him for this. Why?
Of course, the security system or security architecture of Nigeria does not even put the governor in charge of controlling the commission of police.
But you said when there is insecurity, the governor benefits. You the one that said that. Now you're saying, are you saying, and now you are exonerating this governor? That is the only part I want to find. Yes.
I'm not exonerating him. I'm stating the fact. He's benefiting does not mean that he has the power to stop it.
Okay.
He's benefiting because, of course, the more it festers, the more people are scared. If you see what happened to Labour Congress now, if Labour leaders are attacked, election is not even here. How can you convince me to enter a trip and go back to the east to go and vote in my state? When of course, a lot of political actors could have even sponsored this attack. This attack the way I see things, this attack might not only come from Hope Uzodinma. It could even be sponsored by an opposition party, just to make people buy the sympathetic view that Hope Uzodinma is against. You know why I said this? You know why I said this, sir? Princess, I'll talk with facts. You know why I said this? Ikedio Hakim is from my own area. It's from Mbano. He lost election in Imo State simply because a news was festered that he flogged a Catholic priest in Imo State. It's on record. That was why Imo voted him out. Not because he did not walk the road, though. Not because he was owing salary. Because they said he flogged a Catholic priest that flouted traffic rule and bashed the governor's convoy. He came down, slapped him, used a koboko to flog him for that single reason. That just single reason, Imo lights all over, came back home, voted him out from the PDP, put in Rochas Okorocha in the PPA. It took almost 18 months, that's a year and 6 months, before the Catholic priest came out and said that he did not flog him, that he only asked his people to push his car out of the road. So I want you to understand the way the Easterners will react emotionally when it comes to voting, elections, and leadership and the likes. So how can you say that someone has not sponsored this? But my question is, if someone sponsored it, then the police would have intervened. So there is almost everything that making it look like a sin.
I think I share that opinion. I was going to say that as well. That funny enough, this might actually be coming from another quarter. We are just focusing on the governor alone. We have other people as well, political actors, actors in the state, and this is all attention now is not get towards Uzodinma being the governor because he's the one having the issues with the organized labor.
Yeah, but what a wonderful coincidence that at this time now, the person now calculate that labor is coming. Let us make sure we deal with labor so that we can give the governor a bad name.
But sir, we read that news days ago.
That
That the labor was actually saying they are going to, was it yesterday? Let me look for that paper. That they are going to shut down. That was yesterday.
Yes, shut down Imo State.
Yes, the news was on the we saw that headline yesterday. So I want to believe that
so other gladiators.
If somebody had planned that, they would have been able to carry it out well as well.
The question is, Kenneth said something. Maybe we'll wait for the Commissioner of Police to give us his report. We need to know the investigation, because if the governor said he doesn't, I am not a part of this. Governor, help us to dig out those behind this brutalization. Exactly. I don't care what happened. You know, if whatever the political thing that was going on, it should not degenerate into this kind of attack.
This kind of attack.
That's the part that we must not
condone.
Yes,
that is true. Because whatever it is, we know that the organized labor, they are the mouthpiece of the workers, and no matter what,
sometimes they are not truly the mouthpiece of the workers. You understand? Because it's two sides of the story here. You know,
the mouthpiece of their pockets, sir. The mouthpiece of their pockets.
So look at something. You remember you've interviewed a lot of people here, and they have issues. But again, it's like when nobody can rule. You can't cook a meal that will satisfy everybody. So you have people who will always be engaged. But labor, they are actually doing their own bit. Without labor, where would we be? That's the question. Now, hope would have been going away and enjoying if labor did not raise this issue now. All right. So there's no excuse why you should unleash terror on people. That's the part I'm even more concerned. You see, if you say labor is not good, you know what? I saw these things in the police station. If you say Nigerian police is not good, next time you have trouble, call it off. You understand? Labor might not be the right people. You might not want to support them. But without labor, who will actually speak out? We don't have opposition. All right? Nigeria does not have a structure where you can actually complain to. They said the court. We don't go to court. Everybody say go to court. We know what you get. So where are we here? So if labor did not come out, this issue will still be dying down. We won't even know what is going on. So labor is still, for me, the lesser devil. They're still my men. And I still believe in them. I think we can work with them.
Yes, I know what we saw on the headlines this week that they were complaining about Imo State and all that. So that issue, like I said, has been lingering for some time now. Regardless, we sympathize with the president, Comrade Joe Ajero, and of course the journalists. I know that some of them.
We don't just sympathize; we condemn this act. You know,
yes.
We condemn this act of terror.
And some of the journalists are still in custody. We don't know the reason for which they were arrested. We're going to find out. I'm going to make more calls after this show. And of course, we are hoping that the police will give us a better explanation to us why this happened, or why it got to this stage. That would be a good place to wrap up the show today. Thank you so much for being on the show's viewers, and thanks to Mary, Joy, and Kenneth as well. So our guest, Comrade Chukuma, is there. And thank you also, Daddy Chris, for being on the Good Morning Show today. We'll do this again tomorrow, hopefully. Before we go, don't forget our different Srtv packages. We run, travel tours with you anywhere you want to go to book your tickets and everything there is to traveling. Travel with us, and as well our event coverage. We cover any kind of events. Yes, just call us and we'll be right there. As well, a magazine. You know, the good thing about this magazine is that I always say they're archives. So it's just a little talking, and you showcase your word, your brand, and everything as well. And don't forget rentals as well. We have all cameras. We have lighting system, and as well editing suite. Just call us and we'll be right there. And our production outlets is quite beautiful, and is a place you want to go to for your shoot, for your programs, and also we have a conference center as well. So just call us for as little as this, and you'll be right there. We'll see you again tomorrow on the show. Don't forget to follow us on our social media handles: Facebook, Twitter, and X, and of course YouTube. Leave us with your comment. We'd love to hear from you. Invite somebody to the page as well. See you again tomorrow. I remain yours truly, Princess Cassie.
Are you a filmmaker in Abuja and its environ? Do you need a place for your music video, or you need a venue for your conference and even an editing suite for your post-production? Look no further. Our beautiful turret in Lokugoma has it all. We have a whole floor that consists of 3-angle lounge, a beautiful dining area, a large kitchen, a conference area that can comfortably accommodate 60 persons, and 5-bedroom adaptable for all kinds of shoots. The good news is all is available at affordable price. And you know what? If you are a member of the Association of Movie Producers of Nigeria, you have 20% discount. So what are you waiting for? Hurry and contact us on the numbers on your screen now.
Srtv.